Okay, I remembered to turn on the mic after 2 seconds. So that's a good start. Let me just turn up some volume so I can hear myself. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering. I actually put a note on my TV here so I can, hopefully that will help me remember to put on the mic. Anyways, it has been a crazy month last month. Some sad news and some happy news, and but yeah, anyways. Let's talk about what this live is about. I am here to show you how the Vinci Eye App works, also teaching you some tips and tricks on how to draw. Right now we are partway through drawing a yellow car. You can draw along with me by downloading the image either through the Facebook group, which is Da Vinci Eye's Facebook group, and it should be in the little featured section. Or you can go to my personal Facebook page, which is charitylowsart, also in the features, and you can download that from there. And you can also, if you have an iOS device, search up my profile, which is charitylowsart, and press the little light bulb icon, and then scroll down and you will find the reference photo there. I still have the kitty. Yes, I do. Here he is. Ugh. Here he is, little kitty. But we can't keep him. We might have somebody come pick him up here soon, at the end of the day. But yeah, he doesn't like to listen to us keep away from the birds, and also my husband can't control his allergies. So I'm a little sad about that. What else? We just finished doing a Facebook competition, like a art competition on the Facebook group. We are planning on doing that an annual thing. So join the group, watch out for my post for those things, and yeah, the more people we can get involved, we can also start doing categories, most likely age categories. But we don't, last time it wasn't a whole bunch, so we had everybody in one category, so yeah. Let's get into the drawing. Okay, so with the reference, with the app, we're using AR mode. What it does is it tracks a little squiggly paper that's here, so that if it accidentally moves, it will stay in place. So I can move it like this. Or if I move the drawing surface, just give me a second. You can move the drawing surface, it'll stay aligned. You can tilt the drawing surface and it will help. Hey, get off me, I'm not a scratching board. So you see how like let me just show you on this right here. You can see how it adjusts the angle too, which is really cool. So you don't have to draw exactly parallel. And then if you press the move button, you can see the layout before you even start. Like just place it where you want it to go, enlarge it, shrink it, turn it. And if you accidentally did something with that, you can press the reverse button and it'll get back to where it was. Sorry. Oh, come on. It's because I'm playing around with this, it always unaligns itself. Like, I'm showing you how to shrink it and enlarge it. So try not to play around with it as much as I am doing. Okay, you can zoom in to find details, like, so what it does is that you see your reference photo and your drawing at the same time through your phone or tablet, or you can stream it to your TV like I'm doing. And then you can zoom in to find details or zoom out. It'll kind of be like, it's kind of like using a magnifying glass. And then another thing is you can record your process. So you'll do like a time-lapse video. It won't do the full-length video, it'll just do a quick time-lapse video. All you have to do is press the record button, and then it will tell you, like, ask you if you want to start recording or continue recording from where you left off if you're doing this in multiple sessions. That's another thing great about AR, is that it will automatically save the position for you, and all you have to do is go into your saved section on the app, which is the bottom center with like a little bookmark shape. You can go and use breakdown mode, and you can play around with this if you want. It gives you step-by-step stencils for color value. So I find this is really great for like monochrome, like one color, or black and white. So what you do is you shade in all the colored areas, but you can change the color if you need to, if you have a hard time seeing a certain color. And then as you go through the steps, you just add darker and darker shades until you're done. But we're doing color, so multicolored, so I don't really like to use that, but it is a really, really helpful tool. Another feature that I like is the strobe feature, which will go back and forth between your reference and your drawing. I like to increase the opacity to the fullest for this, so I can really see the difference. What you're essentially doing at this point is playing spot the difference, and then you just adjust it until it's until it looks almost identical like the photo. You don't have to do this if you don't want to do photorealistic artwork, but it is something I love doing. So it is a little bit unaligned, but that's okay. That's just me playing around with stuff too much. So let's get started. I'm just going to put on the auto director so you can see different angles as we're working. So for color matching, there is another app you can use. It's not a Vinci Eye app, but it's the colored pencil picker, which works really well for beginners. It will help you. It'll help you see how colors mix and stuff. But that's not something yeah, that's just my own personal thing. But I also like doing this as well, which this is the method we're going to be using. What this is it's a color chart for the pencil set that you have. So I like to fill it all in. What's good is to what a good thing to do, which I didn't do, is go harder from one side and then lighter, so you can see how the color looks at different pressures. Also put the number and the name, so when you find the color you want to use, you can pick out, like, you know what pencil to get, because some pencils look very similar. They look similar on the pencil. Anyways, another thing, let me see here. Where is my phone? Where did I put my phone? Another little thing that you can do, where is my phone? There's my phone, okay. You can take your reference photo and put it in a photo editing or drawing app. And you can, let me just see here. You can press the little color wheel and there's like a little dropper. This little, you just press that. And then it will show you the color that it is in a certain sections when you choose your sections that you want to work with. And then you can use that to compare what color would be best. So this one would be like a dark red mixed with probably this brown right here. So it's, yeah, you need to learn how colors mix, or how to at least see the undertones of certain colors. But yeah. Now that I have that, we're going to finish this one tire here and then move on to some more details and the other tire. Oh, that's cat scaring me. He's got to stay in here for a bit. So we worked on building up the undertones. Now we're going to what they call varnish it. We're going to start with the darkest color. So we're taking the darkest pencil and we're going to put quite a bit of pressure on it for the darkest areas, the black areas in this case. You can look at your app, or you can look directly at the drawing, whether it be printed or a digital image on your phone, or on another phone, tablet, or computer, whatever you have. Because we already got the outlines done, we don't necessarily need to look at the app at this time. So right now, there's some areas that are almost black. I'm not putting as much pressure in these areas because I want to do another layer of like a blue-green in some areas. But I am putting in a lot of color at this point. Instead of looking at the object as a whole, you want to find the shapes within the objects that are being created by slight differences in color and shading. We're just going to build it up. You can see some of the tire tread, so we're going to add those on the one side, maybe a little bit on the other side too. It looks like you can see some of it, not a lot. Now I'm going to go in with the darkest blue I have. And then I'm going to go over the areas I added black to. And I'm going to put quite a bit of pressure at this point for this. There's a little bit of a transition between the blue on the tire and the black at the top. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of like an ombre trend. Yeah, I don't know how to say things right now. My brain don't want to work. Why do I teach? So I'm adding quite a bit of black on the top part of the tire where the shadow of the car kind of just overlays it. And there is a really dark section in between the tire and the car body here. I'm just filling those in nice and dark here. kind of working on it slowly, building it up. When you feel confident in the color that you have down, you can just put quite a bit more pressure on it. Now I'm going to get the darkest green I have for this one section here. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on right now, I'm just putting down the color. That's the color that I see as an undertone of this black that's on the tire. So what are you doing? I'm going to do a little bit of a lighter blue where I left quite a bit of light, like white on it. It's not that white, so I got to put something on there. Hey, get your paws off of this. You're gonna be distracting me. Okay, off. Off. You're cute, but you're not that cute. Hey, don't attack my foot. I have to babysit the cat while I'm in live because my husband's outside and we don't want to leave it alone with the birds that are free range. Like, the birds take over the house, they own the house. Ow! Wait. Take a look here. See if I need to adjust the shape of anything. Now we're going to do the little bit of the detail of that silver part of the car. I might need to add like a little bit of like a dark orange yellow between the two, the tire and the detailing. There's a little bit of a white spot that I missed. You know what, I'm going to take a colorless pencil here. I don't know if I showed you this. Hey. Hey! Little fart. Oh, you messed up my camera here. He's just getting into trouble. No, get down. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. By the way, what I did was not count animal cruelty. He's a kitten, and mama cats do that to their babies all the time. They actually kind of relax when that happens because it makes them think they have their mom around. Okay, now my camera is all wonky. Oh boy. I should have said no to babysitting the cat. Okay, come here. You can't escape. I'm sorry. Get over here. You want to come cuddle? Okay, next time you jump on my table, you're going to get cuddled. So you stay out of trouble. Okay, what was I doing? So there's many different blenders you can use or techniques to blend. One is just slowly layering things, like gradually, there we go. Go from dark to light, and then with the other color, dark to light. So where they meet. You can use a colorless pencil, or you can use a blending marker that is available. You can use there's some liquids that you can use with the paintbrush. A lot of them are like alcohol based, and it kind of gives it more of like a painted look, like a watercolor painted look when you do that, depending on which one you use. But I'm going to be using the colorless pencil to blend this in. And then to make it solid with the colorless pencil, just press quite a bit of pressure on it so that all the little white parts of all the white parts that are you see of the paper, all that color gets pushed into those little grooves. Same effect with using another color and just putting a lot of pressure on those colors too. So many different things you can do. So many different ways. I'm going to use a light blue. Actually, I'm just cleaning off the blending stuff by rubbing it on my board here. Although it'll make your board messy real quick, but you could also use a piece of paper if you want to, but that's just something I do because it's a harder surface. That's not a light blue. I'm going to get the lightest blue I have. And I'm going to kind of just add those lines. If you look really close, there's stripes within that silver, in that silver detailing. So I'm just getting everything that I can, minus the white highlights. I'm not too worried about every single little detail. There is some words written, like the brand of the car written in there, but I'm not going to get those little details, like that much of a detail. I'm going to go in with a darker blue now. And just get those darker lines. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of gray for the rest. Where is the gray? Where is it? There it is. Very lightly. I'm just very lightly putting that gray on. And then I'm going to take that blending pencil again, and I'm going to go back and forth because I don't want the lines to disappear. I want you to still be able to see those little lines there. Zoom out, see if I can find any more details that are around the hood of the car, the front of the car. There's one little spot right here. I don't see a whole bunch of really light blue, so I'm just going to do that darker blue I have. And then just go across like so. What do you think you're doing? Hello there. Are you a troublemaker? Do I have to pick you up? Cuddle with you? Oh, I'm gonna miss him when he leaves. I'm gonna miss him. He's so sweet. Are you a little parrot? Do you get to just sit on my shoulder? And then I'm gonna go in with that gray, that shadow there. He's the star of the show today. Okay, now I'm gonna blend it, just going in that horizontal direction when I'm doing that, so I don't lose the highlights and the shadows. Oh, he's so sweet. He's such a sweetheart. Okay, so this is dark blue with a little bit of white and black for that little tiny thing there. So I'm just gonna go in with the blue and just get that entire shape down first, and then I'm gonna add the black. I'm not gonna worry about the little white section because it's very tiny. I am going to go in with a white pencil and try to get it a little bit lighter, but not super, like not too much. And I think I might do that with the other pieces too, is just add a little bit of white in some of those highlighted areas. go in with some dark orange. So I see a little bit of dark orange underneath this too. Or not dark orange, it's like a yellow orange. I'm not giving you the exact colors I'm using because the drawing pencils that you might have are different than what I have. And speaking of which, if you want me to do like any videos of like certain pencil sets, even if it's like Prismacolor, or you just want me to show you how to do it with the gosh, I can't think of words. Primary colors. So just stick with 3, like red, blue, yellow, and black and white. Then I can do that for you too. Back to that little stripe, we're going to add light blue, and at this point we're also kind of sculpting the shadows and the highlights, leaving the white alone. We can go over the darker areas too while we're doing this. Do you like it up there? Do you like it on my shoulders? Nice and warm. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the darker blue. And get some of the darker areas and trying to leave the lighter areas alone. It is very hard to get all the little details just for the fact that it's so small. And then I'm going to go in with the gray. And then taking my colorless pencil, just blending it, but going in the direction of those lines so we don't lose anything. I'm going to go over again with some white just to pick up some of those highlights a bit more. And then with that orange yellow, I'm just gonna fill in those little white areas that were kind of left behind by accident, some spots that we missed. Now you can see that it's slightly not lined up. Again, that's from me just messing around with it here and there. But even so, you can just realign it to each little section and continue. I think I might do that. I had asked the app developer if he could add a nudge. Turn off the strobe. Add a nudge feature to it. Hey, get off the table. You are not allowed on the table anymore. I'm gonna hold you like a baby. And turn off. I think that's good. Oh, what are you doing? Turn on the strobe again. Okay, this section, actually I see another thing while I'm here. So there's a dark shadow underneath this. It's like a red, orange, and black from what I see. Oh. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, for some reason my video paused on the playback, so I can tell if anything's wrong. I'm gonna go in with a red underneath this detail here. And then I'm gonna go over it again with a black. Should I drop? Yeah, I dropped something. Hey. There's a cat on my shoulders, which is making this a little difficult. Okay, come on, get down. Okay, fine. Get on my back. I'm gonna balance you. Ugh, come on. There we go. Just taking that colorless pencil and just blending it by going with that line there. Okay, we're going to use the light blue and go across, trying to preserve the white highlight that's on the top as best as we can. And then we're going to go and do the same thing with the dark blue. We're trying to get this at a little bit smaller areas, not the whole area that we just put light blue on. And then gray as well. Just going across here. Red underneath the detailing. With a touch of black as well. And then use the colorless pencil and blend it just by going across, following the lines. And using the white pencil afterwards and just create a little bit of a highlight. It's not going to be a big difference, but it is going to be a tiny, there will be some of a difference. I can sit up straight now the cat's off of me. I'm going to do the front windshield and the wipers and the mirror. Start with the light blue. I don't see any pure white highlights, so we're just going to go into the whitest areas with this light blue. Do you know what I learned from researching on YouTube? I learned that Faber-Castell pencils do erase as long as you have just like 1 or 2 layers on top. And you didn't blend it in. So they do erase a little bit. A lot more than Prismacolor does. But there's a use for either or. They both have their pros and they both have their cons. Now we're going to go in with the darker blue. We're kind of doing more detailed work with that. So we're just trying to find those subtle differences and trying to duplicate them as best as we can. So we're not looking at as a whole, like the whole thing is one shape. We want to look for the little shapes within those shapes too, that are being created by the different colors and the different shades of colors. There is a little tiny bit of gray in some areas, not a whole bunch. I'm taking that gray and I'm just getting those sections in there. And last but not least is black. This is like an outline around the windshield of black. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that blending pencil, the colorless one, and I'm going to blend in the direction of the lines. I'm not going to go the opposite direction, otherwise we lose some of those highlights. You can blend the light areas to the dark areas or clean in between when you're switching. And then we're going to add a little bit of white in some areas just to make those shine marks pop out a little bit. And now we got the side mirror. If you look at it, I see an orange, a green, black, and blue, because it's reflecting off the color of the car. So we're going to use the darkest orange we can find. And we're just doing some circular motions and trying to recreate the shape that this color is making. And then we're going to use a dark green for the other little spot here. Now, just a little fun fact is that when you mix yellow and black together, you get green. So that's why we see the green in the side mirror. I'm going to use a dark blue for the other side of this mirror. We'll add black later. And then I'm going to sculpt the little section where the rear view mirror is attached to the car. I'm going to use a lighter blue, like a mid blue, and then I'm going to go in with a dark blue, and then black for the rest of the little details after. Where did that thing go? Where did that cat? Oh, there you are. Hi. You just chilling? You done making trouble? And now I'm going in with the black. I'm going to kind of overlay all of it with a light amount of black for this, except for the really bright highlights. Taking the blending colorless pencil, we're to do circular motions and for the top part of that mirror, and then we're going to blend following the lines for the bottom part. And we're going to do the silver stripe that's right just above it. I'm going to take a look at it. It's got light blue and a little bit of dark blue and some orange black going on at the bottom. So we're going to start off with the light blue, trying to preserve the white sections of this little detail here. Some mid blue, doesn't go all the way across actually, there's a little bit of a break, so I'm going to make that little bit of a break that goes across. And then we're going to take an orange. I'm going to go underneath the rear view mirror and that detailed silver stripe. And then a little bit of black over that orange. Taking the blending pencil, and we're just going to follow the lines, just dragging it across, and then adding a little bit of white for some highlights. Okay, it is time for a break. I will be back shortly. Shouldn't take me longer than 5 minutes. I'm gonna give this cat a break, some time to eat as well, because I have to keep him in here and there's nothing in here for him. Anyways, bring your questions, because when we get back, then I'll have a little bit of a Q&A for you, or just chat. It's up to you. Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Always forget to turn on the volume again. Now is a good time to ask some questions because you got my full attention, but I'm gonna go on and talk. I am here to show you how the Vinci Eye App works. If you have any questions, I can run through it real quick now that I'm on live. If you don't have the app and would like to try the app for free for a year, there is a promo code in the description for iOS, or you send me an email or find me on Facebook or whatever, and I can send you one for an Android as well. We currently just had a art competition on the Facebook Vinci Eye App group. So we already have the winners posted. A couple of them already received their stuff, but if you want to participate next year, please join the Facebook group because it's only for the Facebook group, nowhere else. What else? If you want to draw along with me, in that Facebook group, the Vinci Eye App Facebook group, in the features, there will be the reference photo that we're working on right now. Or you can go to my personal Facebook page, which is charitylowsart, and you'll find the reference photo and the features there. Or if you have an iOS device, with the app downloaded, you go in search for charitylowsart, and then you go to my profile and click the little light bulb and just scroll through it, and you will be able to find the reference photo there as well. And there's also like stencils and stuff that I've made that you are free to use, whether just for fun or you want to sell some crafts that you're doing at a market or whatever. That's fine too. I am okay with you using those. What else? If you need tech support at any time, you go to info@DaVinciEyeApp.com. Just email them and you will be in contact with Sam or his wife, and they will help you, and they are the app developers. So, I did not make the app, but I am a #1 fan, and I asked them for a job, and that's why I'm here. So, what I do is I make ads, I do tutorial videos and live videos for them, and also manage a few other little things, but those are the main things. For these videos, right now we're doing a realistic drawing of a car. I specialize with pencil work, so graphite and colored pencil, and portraits. Those are the things that I'm really good at. But because of me having new things to do to make the advertisements interesting to watch, I have also dabbled in a bunch of other things that I'm more than happy to get you started on if that is something you want to do. So I've done fabric painting, wood burning. There's this really cool paint that just came out, which is Deco Art stained glass paint. Really cool to use. I can do regular like acrylic paint or watercolor, and soft pastels, pen, yeah, all those things I have dabbled in, and I can definitely get you started on any of those. I can do stuff other than portraits as well, still life, landscape, pet portraits, objects, whatever. Just let me know what you want to draw and what you want to draw with or paint with. Just send a comment or contact me in some other way. And then if you have any reference photos you want me to do with you, I'm more than happy to do that. I will also give you my drawing for free, mail, shipping, and everything for free, if you have a reference you want to do. Please stay away from, like, I hope that it's, like, I only accept photographs that are provided by you, not like any fan art or anything like that, because we can't do that with these live videos. And even so, yeah, it's just not, it's not something I don't want to, you know. Anyways, I can't really put my words together. So let's get started and continue on with the drawing. You are more than free to ask questions throughout this live video. I do have the comments available for me to read just on the side here, so yeah. Okay, come on. So here we go. I'm going to continue on doing a little detailed work of the car. Let's work on the side mirror. You can see the red background in this section and the steering wheel, so we're going to work on that. So one way to color pick is to put your reference photo on a drawing or photo editing app, and then you just color pick. You can see the color over here and kind of have an idea on what base color, and then mixed in with white or black to get that same color. So this is the red orange with a little bit of black. But I think there might be one that's closer. I think it's closer to, let me see. I think I see that it's closer to it. So let's use, it's kind of like a brown red. And I'm going to do kind of like circular, not really super tight circles, or they're more of like a random, I'm not filling in the whole space with this red because I want to have that texture of the brick in the background. So it's not a solid and even texture. And I'm gonna go in with a dark red. Okay, last time you were up here, you caused havoc. So come on, get back. Get back over here. Do you want to be on my back instead? I'll just put you on my back like you were earlier. Hey, don't eat my hair. I'm going to use this dark red. And there's another lighter color in here, and I'm not 100% sure what color to put it as, so I'm going to do some more color picking. It's like a brown color. And it's very light brown, so I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on this section with this brown. I just want a little bit of it. And then it looks like there is a black at the very top, which I'm like 100% sure it is. Yeah. It says it has a touch of green in it, but that's okay. We'll just do black. You know what, there is a lot of white noise, and I know why. Did that help? Okay. And then also the steering wheel is black. I'm going to sharpen my pencil because it's easier to get finer details when you have a pencil sharpener or sharpener. Now we're going to move on to some other details around this side window here. There isn't really any white except for on the like on the small little triangle window. So I'm just going to use a medium blue to shape it. There's a little bit of a white highlight on the other side of this edge, but I'm not going to worry about that. Don't just try to preserve it and then kind of forget about it afterwards. And I think we're going to step right into black for the details. You can look at the app, or you can look directly at your phone, or like directly at the reference photo, whether that be on another device or print it out, because you already got the most of it. Like you got it traced out already. So and there's a reddish orange shadow on the top part of this. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna start with the orange and then add a little bit of red on top of that. And then dark orange on the bottom half of that little section that I just did. Okay, now I think we're ready to blend. So we're going to take the colorless pencil, and I'm going to do that the orange red shadow first. The red background, I'm kind of just not doing it super even because we want the texture, so I'm doing kind of sporadic circular motions. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I will go over it with white in a second. And then following the lines of like the blue and the black areas, just so that we don't lose the detail that we put in there. And then the pure black sections, we'll just push that right in there. I'm going to use the white pencil to do the rest of the blending for that background that's poking through. And then I think I might do a little bit more details on top of that. Putting quite a bit of pressure. I'm just trying to get that really rough looking texture in that background. Kind of using the app to help guide where to put it, but I'm not trying to make it look exactly like place every little detail in the exact spot. No, I'm not doing that. And I think my video paused again for some reason. Just for me, at least. So now we're going to work on the rest of that side window. It looks like it's mostly black. I see light blue in the highlights of the thing around it, and then medium blue, kind of a green, and black. Those are the colors I see. So we're going to use the lightest blue here. I'm trying to preserve the highlights. I'm going to leave those highlights white. I'm just getting the silver detailing that goes all the way around that. And you're going with the medium blue. Then I'm going to take some the darkest green I have. I'm just going to do some undertones with some of the in some of the details I see. I'm just doing some circular motions, light pressure. Try and make them a little bit tighter, which are like closer together, smaller circles is what I mean by that. And then the darkest blue, also the same idea, just in that some of the details that are in the reflection. Also light pressure and tight circular motions. Again, tight circular motions referring to small, close together circles. Loose ones are kind of more of a scribbly technique. And then I'm going over the rest of it, and I'm starting off with light pressure for this next step. Actually, first I'm going with the drawing out the shape of that black window. So we're just getting the outlines first, but very light pressure. And then filling in those areas with light, tight circular motions. Okay. Now I'm going to go around and get those really dark areas, putting quite a bit more pressure than I was earlier. I'm going to start with the shadow that's on the top. That goes just all the way around that silver, like just underneath that silver detail. And I'm going to put quite a bit of pressure on this, just trying to fill it in as best as I can. And then there's a thick stripe on the bottom part of this window. I'm gonna shade that, like fill that in too with some black. Okay. I am still seeing some green undertones in some areas, so I'm just doing light circular motions, tight circular motions in those areas that I kind of see some green poking through. And then I'm going to do the same with the blue undertoned areas. I'm using a dark blue for this, just so you know. And then not as much pressure as before, but we're getting some of those really dark areas. Just filling that in. Again, not as dark as the black that was on the very top and the very bottom. Just a little bit. Now we're just slowly building it up, that black, after we've got those details that are reflecting. And then adding black over top of those lighter areas. Now I want to take a gray and work on some of that silver detailing that's around the window. So there's a dark gray just on the top part of that silver details. Take that blending stump, or not stump, but the blending pencil, the color this one, and we're just dragging it across the silver detail, following the lines. We don't want the lines to disappear. And then the same with that black, we're just going to drag it sideways for those stripes that are on the top and the bottom that are pretty solid. And then we are just doing some circular motions and pushing that the colors right into the grooves, the little white spots to make it more solid. I'm gonna take a eraser, a mono eraser, if I have one out. Let's see. It's just a tiny little eraser. I want to make sure it's clean before I do this. And we're gonna pull out that slight highlight little details of the reflection. That's what we're trying to do. Because the pencils I'm using does erase a little bit. There we go. I'm going to take a dark orange and just fill in that little white stripe that is between, like, I'm trying to get the white stripe that's just above the gray detailing, the silver detailing, because there is unintentional gaps between the two. Take some white and go over the highlights. And then now we're going to do the silver detailing that's just underneath the window here. And just taking a quick look, I see mostly white, a little bit of light blue and gray. There's nothing really in between the two. I'm trying to preserve the white as best as I can. It's not going to be perfect. Then a little bit of dark blue on the bottom part of this silver detailing. Then we're going to do a bit of red and black just underneath that as well. Going in with the colorless pencil, just dragging that all the way across to kind of do slightly some blending without losing those lines too much. And then we're going to go over with the white for those highlights. I'm going to go over with a dark yellow for the white spot that just kind of, the white outline that kind of just pops up when I'm changing between doing certain things. It just happens. It's not intentional that it happens, but it happens. Okay, I mostly see dark blue, black, and an orange on the handle with some white. So I'm going to start with the dark blue. I'm going to do that orange. The orange is just a reflection of the color of the vehicle. And then I still see some orange underneath the actual handle. I'm gonna add that too. And there's a shadow of that handle. We're gonna add that too. I'm actually going to blend it in a different way this time. I'm going to use a white pencil and start with the lightest areas and then follow the lines. Lovely. I actually don't see a ton of light blue. I'm going to go with the medium blue. And we're just going to make a line that goes across, trying to preserve the white as best as possible when doing this, so that we do have a highlight. We're going to go in with gray just underneath that, just a little bit underneath that as well. Okay, And then there's like that red black shadow underneath that, so we're gonna add that underneath the gray. So there's the red, and then here's the black. Kind of doing the black in between the gray and the red. Now we're going to take the blending stump or blending pencil and just going side to side. Using a yellow orange just above it to kind of shape that detail a little bit more. And then white on top where the highlight is. There's a little silver detail on the bottom of the car, so we're going to work on that next. I'm going to use a mid blue, just get the, like all the way around like the whole area for that silver little thing at the bottom. And there's no white highlights here, so we could just fill in the whole thing with that mid blue. Let's go all the way across right to the other, like the other side of the door. Might as well. Now we're going to go in with the dark blue. There's a dark blue stripe right in between, right in the middle. So we're going to do that all the way across. I also see a few little screws too. Let me just take a look, see what color there are. And I don't know if they're screws or whatever they are, but there's dark dots. You don't have to do those, but I see them and they seem like they're fairly easy to get on there, so I'm going to get those little spots. I'm also going to do a darker stripe, a very thin stripe, just right where that dark blue that we put on. You know what, I should have done the dots after I've done blending, because those dots are going to get very fuzzy. So I'm going to stop getting those dots right now and then get them later. And then we're just taking that blending pencil and just dragging it across the lines here, going in the same direction. And then going back and redefining those little dots. I'm going to try to clean up some of this pencil's marks here, because, yeah, kind of went a little bit outside the lines, but it is going to be blended into the rest of it here soon, like when we start doing the background, the road. Just want to make sure everything's lined up for this next section, because it did kind of get a little wonky, but nobody's going to notice. That's just from me playing around with it too much. Showing you guys how to set up stuff. So I think that looks pretty good. Let me take a look at the top here, see if I missed anything. Okay, we're gonna work on the window. Okay, we're going to define that silver lip, whatever you call it. Using a light blue. I'm going to lightly fill the entire space with this light blue. Very, very lightly. Now I'm going to use a mid blue to get some of those shadows. a little bit of gray. And black just above it. And then I'm going to use a orange just to fill in that gap between the black and the rest of the car, because there's a little bit of a halo going on here. While I'm here, I noticed that some of that black detail, like that black shadow, has gone a little bit more gray on the other side. So I'm going to add that again. Taking the colorless blending pencil and just dragging it across, following the lines. It is 12 o'clock, so it's time for me to hop off. But before then, if you want to try the DaVinci Eye App free for a year, the promo code is in the description for the iOS. Android doesn't work the same. You can send me an email or find me on Facebook, and I can send you a promo code for Android to try it free for a year. Free for a year, and then also free live videos for me, and sounds like a really good time to me. I wish I had that opportunity. And also don't forget to join the Facebook page or Facebook group, DaVinci Eye App. We have competitions and art challenges with prizes. Or you could just, there's also just like a lot of people sharing their artwork and getting feedback and some additional help and inspiration. So, yeah. I got to say goodbye. Say bye. Do you want to say bye? Where's Mackenzie?
I'm at her house right now. Well,
Son just got home.
hey.
Do you want to say bye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye. Hey, what's the cat?